Spit me some facts real quick about King of the Court. Tell me about your history playing in King of the Court.
I didn't really take tournaments all that serious. I was just one that was filling slots. I really wasn't a tournament player. I really do wish at times to have taken it more
FYLLTHY,
serious.
the amount of shit talk that you do, I can't imagine the shit talking you was doing at King of the Court.
Oh, see, I talk a whole lot of shit, but the reason that I talk a whole lot of shit is because I seen a whole lot of things that I didn't agree with at one point of time or another.
Who'd you play in King of the Courts before?
I played PlayStation. You didn't know it was PlayStation. George. And I believe that day when I scored like the highest amount of points on him in Roy Wilkins Park.
Hey.
Roy Wilkins Park was the first place that they wound up holding the King of the Courts. They went from Roy Wilkins over to Sayers Avenue, then they went to Liberty, and then they're moving it to Edison, where it's being currently held at now.
When they did it at Liberty, it was like the most poppin', right?
Liberty was more or less of a good family setting. Everything was like really nice, but you needed a little bit more courts, you needed a little bit more atmosphere, which is why it wound up being moved to Edison. From back in the days compared to the competition, each generation, you know, you have your powerhouses, you have your expecting different levels of competition that you wind up playing, you know, like the Jordan and the LeBron era. So it's hard to compare, but, you know, great players recognize great players. You know, we recognize the legends, we recognize our stars. You know, but we also recognize the different styles. Right now, it's more or less like a smash and grab instead of a technique. If you have a serve as well as, you know, a little knowledge of the game, then it makes you a little bit more exciting than you just smashing this one and you smashing this one to see who can track it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is more like a smash and grab. It's not really technique. Because, like, you get one good win on a good player, you might end up losing that next round anyway.
But the problem that I have is that you're all playing to each other's strengths. What was the rest of the shots that you developed and put inside of your arsenal? You got to learn how to use the shots that you have. Not everything is just smash, smash, smash. What about that lob that you've been working on? What about that tap shot, that cut that goes both ways? You can throw reversals, can't you? Can you hit a drop shot? Going all the way over here, but they're reading everything that you got.
Yeah, like, for example, if you do a nice drive and you got somebody back up on the long line and the ball's coming up and you're about to charge the ball, you might just hit it hard as fuck and, like, he comes back on the court and gets the ball. In reverse, if you went for a drop shot, which is really hard to do, you're too nervous to hit it in front of, like, fucking 200 people and, like, you know?
All that. If you're supposed to be a pro, if you're supposed to be that motherfucker,
yeah,
you ain't scared to hit that shot. Why? Because it's in your arsenal. It's something that you can turn around and put some more excitement into the game.
It's a mind game because, like, you might have that drop shot, but now you're afraid to go for it. And that's what end up happening. It's all smash, smash, and grab.
But like I said, if everybody's just playing and pounding, once you find somebody else that threw a cut and a drop shot here or there, you're going to be in a lot of fucking trouble.
What are you looking forward to this year? What would be the ideal finals then? Tavo versus Taiwan again? Kadeem versus Tavo? Kadeem is coming off a little break right now.
All right, I got to find somebody who can wind up matching up with him in the different aspects. And it's really hard to go against Tavo. When you talk about speed and placement and power and everything, I mean, you have a lot of top A's. But what's going to be the most entertaining? Okay, I would like to see something like Tavo and David Velez because I know it's going to be entertaining. Now, if I want to sit back and just watch abuse, I don't know.
Kadeem's honestly would be a good matchup because of style-wise. So you're right about that, but Kadeem's coming off of a recent break. He hasn't been playing handball. To me, I think Taiwan and Tavo would be the ideal matchup right now.
It would be. You know, that's been done over and over again, as well as, you know, him and Timbo.
Ideal, now that you brought up Timbo, would be Timbo versus Tavo. That would be ideal.
Every game that it is, I just want it to be called fairly, right down the line. No favoritism, just call it on the player's skill and merit, you know, the shot that's hitting. No fictitious calls. You get the majority and all this other shit. Let's go with it.
So what do you think about the history between Timbo versus Tavo? And we know a little bit about the history. It's been proven to have a good track record in singles against Tavo. What do you think about that situation? Why is that? Even in 2023, when Timbo played Tavo and US Open semifinals, it was a very close game, 25-24, I think. Timbo ended up winning. Even when he played him in the finals in 2019 or something, and he beat him at King of the Courts finals at like 21-25. No, 24-25 again. What's up with that? What do you think about that?
Some people, they have mental lapses. Other people will not. It's just something that winds up going through. Everybody has a kryptonite, and, you know, it's a little hump or a hurdle that you have to wind up overcoming. You can be controlling the game, and you can be up by 7, 8, 12 points. And then all of a sudden, your opponent, they catch fire. You might hit one shot out, they'll hit a couple of kills, they'll go through, you get a ball on or blocks, and then, you know, next thing you know, the score's tied. something mentally winds up breaking. Maybe it's a bad call that goes against you. There's a mental block that some players go through. Sometimes they might need it a little bit more than you, and you just be on some BS.
Even if you're up like 7-6 points, you expect your opponents to catch fire, maybe like, oh, well, not even maybe, it's bound to happen. You're gonna get down. You're not gonna be a perfect 21 run. Your opponent's gonna end up getting back on, maybe score a couple of points. It's gonna happen. It always happens. They might even catch up to your points. But Timbo, he's known to not give away his lead, ever. Am I right on that?
It's really hard to wind up taking the leads away from some people. Once they have the lead, they understand that they got to wind up going through whatever it takes to wind up maintaining that. He has been good throughout the years on maintaining the lead. When you go through the fact that he has 2 good hands, great placement, and everything else, he's not like a flashy individual. You can read what's happening and what's going on, but can you get to the shot? But with Thabo, for some reasons, like I said, you can catch him, or even if you like winds up breaking it down, they don't finish it off.
We know Thavo's more of a volleyer. He's trying to outplay you. Whereas Timbo, on the contrast, he's trying to kill the ball on you, right?
Some ways, yeah. Thabo, he's just trying to be on some execution and shit. And
execution murder.
Yeah, he you know, his savagery, his level of savagery is just like crazy. It's just like he just doesn't want to stop moving. And he's trying to hit everything that's like ankle high.
He's trying to put you in a place where you're tormented. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely on that intimidating factor. He's the only person that I've ever heard in a tournament that had like a 17-point spread. That's retarded.
I think that was on me. People gave out 17.
Yo, it was 17 points when one tournament in IS-10. It was like 19 points. And I was like, yo, what's the point spread? He's like 19. 19.
Yo, I've never heard some shit like that.
I've never heard it, but I heard that live. Yo, it was like, no, stop playing. He's like, nobody's giving you better. I was like, yo, but you gotta give up 19 points.
Yeah.
You gotta give up what? 19 points.
Yeah.
Because he's even everybody like understanding he had an attitude problem. And he still does, which is why I'm taking him overall in the King of the Courts, because I still think he has an attitude problem. Now, maybe one person might break double digits again if you get lucky, but it's going to take about 4 people to add to 21.
I think it was yesterday. He played against Luke Thompson. He zipped him in the U.S. Open. And he was trying to do it yesterday again. As soon as Thompson scored like 1 point or 2 points, I was like, dang, you could see like the anger in his face. I was definitely like that. Yeah.
See, the problem with Thabo is, some people is that, when you wind up beating somebody, okay, you have to try to keep them lower than what they was before. So being that he scored after he just shut him out, he's mad. So now it's like the next time he plays him, he might get 1 or nothing again because he's got to go now. It's like, I got to keep him under 1. Some people are just handball crackheads and sires and, they just be on some real BS. And his level of shenanigans is really filthy.
So final verdict, King of the Court finals, you see Thabo versus David. You said you want to see or Kadeem?
Yeah, and like I said, I want to see something that's going to be different and maybe kind of entertaining. But like I said, that David, he's an entertainer, so he's going to turn around and do some behind the back, between the legs type of thing. He's going to wind up tracking something down. We have another powerful lefty out there, Colleen. I could turn around and see him hurting and a few feelings. It's going to be somebody.
Colleen took out Stanley in the quarterfinals last year, and he made it look easy.
There's some people that's really hard to fuck with, and a lot of people have problems against decent lefties, which is why I say you. Colleen, lefty Mario.
All right, so let me ask you, what B players, what do you think is going to go very far, or who you hope to see matchups?
I want to see, a couple of upsets.
I know you love upsets.
I do that. I love that shit when but you see B players, say Gerardo takes out a good A player. That's going to sit back and have people on some, oh shit, yeah, he's definitely getting carded or something like that. You taking out, somebody else that up and coming and everything else. I would like to see Tor Rob, wind up making it to the 3rd round and sitting back hurting somebody's feelings that supposed to be, be in the final 4, like the final 8.
Yeah. So we got Gerardo, we got Mario, we got Tall Rob, we got Drago. Hopefully JJ plays.
I would love to see JJ going through. JJ has a great game that's going through.
What other B players got nice singles games?
There's quite a few. It's just a matter of level of confidence that they want to display.
Yeah, even if they sign up or not, are they ready to show out tomorrow or not?
Yeah, when you go into a tournament, it's always best to have, somebody around that's going to wind up cheering for you. That one person that's talking about, yeah, you can do it, a good shot, all that. That makes a great feeling when you got, 20 other heads that's cheering for the opponent.
And now it's a good thing we got a whole community around every person. So like if I play, I know Hoover and Edison or whoever that knows me gonna be cheering for me. Mario plays, you got the whole Palmana, stuff like that, which is amazing.
That's one of the things that, I actually like about King of the Courts, being that I don't referee. I can turn around and I can actually cheer for everybody else.
Right.
Okay. Nothing like when I'm playing, when I'm reffing, then I can't turn around and be like, yeah, go ahead. You know, I can't do
Yeah,
that.
I love your reffing only because like you make the shit entertaining.
I try to do that. That's the
Yeah,
whole thing. But you know
right.
what? People don't like the part that is entertaining. They talk about that it's distracting. Dude, play the fucking game. I understand that, you know, the shit might have been a little funny.
Right.
But at the same time and token, come on, you've been multitasking all your life. You can't turn around and pay attention and hit the game.
Right.
There's something wrong with you. Don't sit back and go through all of that crying shit.
Yeah, because back in the day, I mean, obviously I wasn't around like that, but like when you're refereeing a game, you're just calling the fucking score. You're not worrying about nothing else. Oh, out ball or in ball. Now they crying about rules, regulations, and all this other stuff. They worrying about everything else but their game, which is distracting to the players themselves. Yeah.
I feel that a lot of A players and they get the notion that they gotta wind up cheating in order to win. You already had the skills. You didn't sat back and prove yourself. Why do you got to wind up cheating? You know damn good and well what it is that you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. You know what it is that you're doing intentionally or not.
Yeah.
Stop trying to talk and, you know, place the blame on somebody else because you already missed the shot or you're going to wind up missing the shot. And you want to sit back and assert your dominance, you're not doing anything. The only thing you're doing is wind up hurting the game.
Yeah, and you see, that's even, you could call that strategy to get your opponent distracted. It's still unfair. Like, it's still kind of cheating. Like,
It is.
now you're stalling for time and you're creating distractions. Technically, wouldn't call that cheating, but it is kind of cheating.
I remember when we first started playing handball, we played this because we had a love for it.
Right.
Where's the love for the game now? It's not about the love, it's about a dollar sign. I understand, you know, you should get paid for the talents that you have.
Right.
Okay, but it wasn't all about that before.
Yeah.
So we can turn around and get back into that same notion and that same mindset. Not gonna do nothing. Until then, and in the meantime, the tournaments that we're having, I appreciate the host for throwing them.
Right.
Okay.
Dwight's been doing this for many, many years, and him and his team.
Yeah, you know, Saha organization, they have definitely been doing this for a very, very long time. I have been to stand there every king of the course that was there, whether I have participated or not. And I've watched, I have seen many things, I've seen many finals.
Is there any game that comes to your mind that you witnessed and that's still in your mind, like a particular game maybe, or like something like that?
I'll be honest with you, my favorite games will always be Adam Gitlitz.
Adam, that's my man.
Okay.
You know, he's sponsoring me this year.
Adam will always be my favorite games. I done seen a lot of high flying and diving and, you know, places being shot and all sorts of magnificentness being displayed.
His younger
Adam.
days, he was diving and stuff.
Adam is gonna die, but you know, Adam runs in slow motion.
Okay.
But he's like that ultimate warrior. I mean, when he plays the game, you can turn around, you can see and you can feel the love. Regardless of who he's playing, he's going to give you 150% and just go through that. So he has the most memorable games. I mean, like I said, I've just seen a lot of finals. I was there when Gio won his championships. You know, I was there when Rookie, you know, won his. I done see Ray Lopez. I seen George. You know, I done seen a lot of great players, you know, do a lot of great things.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't get me wrong. I seen Peavy when he won his over there in Liberty. Okay?
There's only one Adam Glitz.
Is Gitlitz. He's the one person that you will always get that cheer for.
Yeah.
I guarantee you when there's one person, Adam, he's that dude.
He's that dude. He really is that dude. You know what's crazy? In my neighborhood, I see him jogging at night.
Yeah.
I'm going to the store. I see Adam jogging.
Yeah.
I see him run past me. I'm like, yo, Adam. He just gives me a thumbs up or a high, and then he just keeps on doing his thing.
Yeah.
My man has been grinding probably since birth. Like, he really is one of a kind.
You gotta love him.
You gotta love Adam.
Adam
He's gonna give it 110 and his all.
Adam is
You're
the most
absolutely
loved
right.
handball player that is out.
That's such a amazing answer. I never would have thought fucking Adam
Gitlitz. Yeah.
Gitlitz. Yeah, I mean, Adam been looking out for the, you know,
For the handball community for many, many years.
the community and, you know, specifically people around him. You know, he's always been good to people around him, which is very respectable.
I won a handball tournament right here in this park that Adam was sponsoring when I was a park challenge. This was like back in like 1988, 89.
Okay.
It was like way back
You
then.
won that one?
Yeah, me and my partner went at 207 in Hillside. That's how we turned around and we went and we wound up finding St. Albans group.
Okay.
But that's what all that was about. But yeah, that's another story. But yeah, Adam,
All right.
that's that dude. That's that dude. puppy, you just want to wrap me up. What's going on over here, huh?
He's like, free me.
Nah, he's just like, I'm just gonna go around you because I know you're gonna wind up petting me.
It's the OG Phil interview.
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely going up. My man Troy. We gotta talk more at King of the Course tomorrow.
Not a problem. You have a good one.
You too.